Welcome, ma'am. And let's pay our respect to Pitama Brahmashri Patriji and Dr. G.K. sir before we start the session. And we're still waiting on a few more people to join us. In the meantime, if somebody have any doubts or any question, please feel free to ask them a question. And then like we got a few more participants here, then we can start today's topic. Ma'am, I want to share like one of my experiences, not very similar what you had, but just little glimpse of it I experienced. I used to do a meditation, I think from around maybe 2017, around that time. And I don't used to like hear music or anything. So one night I usually like sit like this and then sleep. So I hear a very loud noise in my ear, like somebody called me my mama, like it's very close to my eldest daughter's voice. Somehow there is a connection between her and me. Some of the experience relate to her, and then it's very loud. And on that day, I get very scared. And then after that, I always plug my earphones before I do meditation. So just scared that somebody will just talk again in my ear. And at the next night, I think I was sleeping and somebody knock on our window and called on my eldest daughter's name. And then they get scared as well again, like somebody just called her name. And that's what happened 1, 2, 3 times. And she comes in my dream when she was little. And then there was a crow. These are all things happening within a week or 2 weeks span. So there was a crow who always knock on her door, come in, knock 2, 3 times and go. Come in the next day, knock 2, 3 times and go. One day I visit her room and she wants to show me. There's a one bird who always come in and knock at my window and disappear and then come the next day again around the same time. So I went to see her and then the bird came in and then he continuously knocking. He didn't stop. And I went to the bathroom side, which is next to her room. That crow followed me on that side and then he continuously knocked that. And after that, crow never come to our house. So I still trying to figure out what was those experiences, because I was quite scared for a while because if somebody's calling her name, it's like somebody calling her, and then crow or bird. It was not really crow, but like a bird knocking on the door. I hear, Google it and say that, there might be something death or that sort of thing related. So I was quite a bit scared for a while. Then I stopped doing meditation for a while. So I thought, oh, no, I need to back off a little bit. So can you sort of like, how can I link these things? I'm still like wonder like what was happening at that time.
Sometimes what happens is when things like this happen, we get scared or we feel joyful.
Yeah.
Right? There are two things. So things are happening on its own way. It has its own meaning and its own timing and everything. It is happening. Generally, when crows come in, we know it is our ancestors who are peeping in. Maybe a message they want to drop in. That's the reason coming in. But sometimes what happens is we depend on if it is another bird or any very colorful bird, we wouldn't mind. We would rather feel very happy, very joyful, and all these things. Since this particular,
isn't it really crow, ma'am? Because in India, crows are black. In here, like this is not really, is it like a black and white sort of bird? I don't know what you call here in Australia, but it wasn't.
I'll give my example. When my daughter was born, so there was a parrot who used to come every day, knock the window, shout till my girl is awake, waking up. And once she's waking up and she's saying ah, and one sound, and the bird used to go. And every day this is a thing. And since morning we are trying to wake her up, she is not even opening her eyes. She's least interested in opening her eyes unless the sound comes. So that's when we named her after that bird's name, Mithu. So we start calling her, okay, so Mithu, then she will respond. So some things are like, these things you feel very joyful. Okay, a bird has come. It is.
Yeah, you're happy about it
Parrots are
because.
like, it's very nice. Like, it's very colorful, and it has got its own meanings and everything. We feel very nice. It's like welcoming from divine beings, all these things.
Mm.
But when we see something else, maybe it's an owl or it's bat or anything, we get scared.
Yes.
We get scared because we don't have any memory, I wouldn't say, any knowledge on what a particular bird is trying to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
We have never thought about it. We don't know. We have always, when we look into our itihasa or we look into our mythological stories, we never heard about a bat coming in and waking up or crow coming in and waking up. We never heard
Mm.
that. We always heard about something else. Either it's a peacock or pigeon or all these things, and white pigeon or all these things. We feel good about it. But every bird has its own meaning and essence. A particular bird is coming and making a sound and trying to knock, or knocking the window or knocking the door and trying to take the name, it is understood that it is coming for that particular person and nobody else. Okay, and it is a relation. That bird might be the power animal for that person. Okay, because everyone's spirit is different. My spirit would be different, somebody else's spirit would be different, my child's spirit would be different, everything is different. So when the power animal is awakening, it is like it's a call for the spirit, not for the human mind. It is only the call for the spirit, and it is actually welcoming any bird coming and knocking anything. It is actually welcoming the spirit. That's it. And spirit
So
might be,
welcoming the spirit, in this case, knocking on my daughter's window. But then when I went, there is a knocking increase and the bird followed me. So whose soul was awakening at the time? Mine or
your
hers?
daughters. Your
My
daughters.
daughter.
The
Okay.
minute it saw you, even the bird got a different frequency, and it went into an anxiety mode, and it started knocking even more. Okay, and after that it never came.
Yeah, it never came afterwards.
That's it. And here we can take it on a positive side, that there was a message, very maybe a serious message from the bird, particularly for your daughter, for anything in upcoming of her life. Sometimes when as mothers we pop into our child's aura, no power animal or no spirit, no anything, nothing will involve again, because it's a completely a different journal. Mothers have that kind of capacity when it comes to children. Whether we are scared or we are whatever frequency we leave, the power animal understands, and it will take its own time. It will take its own time. It will never come beyond mother's aura. Cutting through mother's aura, nothing will come.
Mm.
That's why we always say, it's like, if your relationship with your parents is good, anything in life you can achieve. Anything, because whether maybe our parents are not good to us, they've been fighting all the time, maybe they never bothered about children or anything, it is okay. It is their life story. It's a human fights which have happened. But my bond with my parents is supposed to be very, very strong inside me. So that's the reason inner parenting is on top priority nowadays. Like inner child, the same way inner parenting. When the child and parent inside is strong enough, bonded and very, very well connected, and in gel with each other very wonderfully, nothing can knock or nothing can harm that particular person. It's very important.
Thank you, ma'am.
The bird's message still remains. It will come again to leave the message when it understands that you are at ease.
No, thank you, ma'am. I think like nothing, I was a bit worried at the time, like why everybody's calling her. So maybe, you get scared, like maybe it's something not good for her and something like that. But it went all right. That's everything perfect.
When the same thing, like my case, when I said, when it started hitting, coming and knocking every day, sometimes I used to get irritated. To get so irritated, and with all the irritation, I said, "You shut up now. I know how to wake up my daughter. I don't need your assistance." After that, I never saw that bird.
Yeah,
After that, it wandered for 2 days, but it never knocked as if it heard and it understood. It never came. And after that, whenever I'm calling her, "Bacha utho," and she used to wake up, okay, yeah, with a nice smile, she used to open. She used to open her eyes. Sometimes these are all miracles, we can't understand them with the logic mind.
yeah, it's just beyond. Yeah, it's beyond things. Like it's hard to connect the dots. Sometimes things happen, and you always wonder why would have happened in your life, unless you get some things very quickly afterwards.
Spirit world is so fascinating and so addictive also, and it
Yes.
takes you beyond your logic. It helps you, it makes you to see all the miracles happening in the entire universe. That's the reason it is very addictive.
No, it is.
But
It is.
sometimes,
That's
yes, it's
why
very
when
scary
this
also.
experiences happens, stop happening, we're thinking like, yeah, they should be start happening again because you're sort of missing the fun part.
Maybe it's happening the other way around. We are yet to see that.
Yet to come. Yeah, sure. Okay, ma'am. So maybe if you would like to, ma'am, we can continue with the topic.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today's talk is on third eye, the most wanted and most asked area of chakras. People are so interested in understanding and awakening the third eye. Whether the Mooladhara is awakened or not, we are not interested. We want our third eye to be active all the time. It is
So
called
true.
Agna Chakra, and it is also called as Gnana Netra, where all the wisdom, it is directly connecting. It is in the center of your two eyebrows, right? And it is connecting to the pineal gland, right? And this chakra is actually activating your psychic powers, your intuition, your inner wisdom, and your psychic powers, right? So because of all these things, this chakra is in more demand all the time. But the geometry of this third eye is also, it is an inverted triangle again. We see in every chakra, since from Mooladhara, every chakra is holding an inverted triangle, right? It's only the heart chakra which has got two things, one to the upward direction and one to the downward direction. But every chakra, for every chakra, the symbols are like it is pointing downwards only. So that shows the inner essence is always of the feminine. Even the Kundalini Shakti, we say Mooladhara Vasini. So we say, we count it as a feminine form. So it is awakening of the feminine to all the areas of it, all the elements of the nature, whether it is the earth element or the water element, fire element, air element, and now the space element. Okay, it is connecting. So it is a liberation. When it is rising, it is a liberation. When liberation is happening, you are understanding specifically with the third eye, when the psychic powers, there are some spiritual emergency cases also might happen. When your third eye is active, your psychic powers are open, because it is extrasensory perceptions also starts awakening in this. You tend to see, you don't sometimes, what it is very rare though, but in some many cases it happens like you don't see a person. Maybe the person is coming and stand in front of us, but that person is not actually looking at the person. They are looking at that spirit energy of that person. They can sense very sometimes, if the vision the person is not that very strong in vision, then they can sense through the intuition. They can sense this person's spirit is this person's spirit is this. Okay, you can awaken, you can know that. So everybody is actually looking at the person who is third eye is basically active. The person is not connected to the human body anymore, like any matter anymore, is going beyond the matter. So beyond the matter, he is connecting to that force of that, which is actually holding, making all the actions of that human body. Okay, and whether it is purpose or there is any purpose to it, or it is purposeless, that can be determined once you read the understand the energy of that force. We can do that. So third eye is all about that. Awakening third eye, activating third eye is all about understanding what is that we are, how is the other person, what is it, and what is my spirit, my inner world is about. Whether I'm able to see anything inside, how am I seeing myself? Sometimes in any practice also, we get to connect to ourselves. We see ourselves in many forms and many varieties and many versions, but we really don't understand, because we think if we are seeing Buddha, we only think that we only come to an understanding of, oh, I connected to Buddha here today, or I connected to Krishna today, or I connected to Vivekananda, I connected to Mother Teresa, I connected to this goddess, that god, all these things. We are still in the understanding of separation. That's the reason we are not able to, most of the cases we can't understand that what I am seeing is me only, is a version of me, maybe not a complete me, but a version of me. And when I am seeing this version, that means this is my, in this life, in this time of now, these are the things which are going to happen for me. Okay, you need to understand that. So the kundalini rising through this chakra is time bound. At this particular time this is going to happen, at this particular time at this point to happen. But once it is coming to third eye, you are actually going beyond time. Beyond time is where you have a vision, you know that this is what is happening. Now you don't know what when it is going to happen. So future actually is becoming a probable. It is not a compulsive now, because it is not time bound anymore. And now when Mooladhara chakra or other chakra, still the heart chakra, whatever you are seeing, whatever you are experiencing, it may happen just like that, based on the intensity. It may happen anytime. But when it is coming to third eye, you have a vision. There is no hard and fast rule that it will happen right now. It might happen, it might not happen also, because my ideas might change. I might see something and I might have understood in certain way, perceived it in a certain way. But after a certain period of time in my life, maybe 2 days or 3 days or whatever it is, till I reach that place, things, I might change my mind. And the same thing might happen in a different version altogether. So you are going beyond time. When it is coming to third eye, you are going beyond time. There is no time friction that this time, this particular time, this is going to happen, this particular time, this is going to happen. Everything happened. We sometimes we say, I never expected that this is going to happen to me in my life at this time. We all say that because we have reached that level. That information coming from our inner spirit is the situation which we are connecting as, I never knew that this would happen in my life, and that too at this hour. Okay, all these things come into this. So main issue for this chakra is always the intuition and the wisdom. That's the reason it is also called as Gnana Yoga. Even when we connect to the particular form of yoga also, it is connecting to Gnana Yoga. Sometimes information also, along with the technique, information also is needed. How we decode, if we see anything, if we have any kind of experience, how are we able to decode it? We do not know. How do we decode it? We do not know what it has shown. If suddenly, if I see in my inner, I'm practicing, I'm sitting with my closed eyes, I'm happily what do you say, I'm focusing on my breath, and I'm just there and enjoying happily with my breath. Suddenly I saw a weird kind of face, evil kind of a face in front of me. How do I handle it? Okay, that's when we have to see, somewhere maybe I'm struggling with my survival issues, or maybe somewhere I'm struggling with, I have to pass through the door of death, something which is very what do you call, very, you need to have the courage of walking through that door. Maybe the situation is not about death, the situation is not about scary or any survival issues or anything, but it is equivalent to this kind of experiences. Maybe you have to go through a very difficult stage with your relationships around. Okay, but it is equivalent, like you're walking through the door of death. So that's when you see that you are in a mode where you are completely struggling. You are not in your own form at all. You are in a completely reverse kind of a form, right? So all this knowledge will come to us based on wisdom. Is I don't say like how we understand wisdom is our experiences become our whatever we experience and perceive from our experiences, that is what we understand as wisdom. But I say it is not the experiences, because experiences are nothing but it's a, outcome of my own perceptions of life. I have perceived life in a particular way. That situation has come to me, and I am understanding in the same way. But the essence which I am taking in, receiving from that particular experience through a particular knowledge which I already in my perceptions which are helping me to understand it, that essence is actually turning out to be my wisdom, and that essence is coming through understanding what I am perceived, whatever I am perceiving, whatever I am understanding, whatever I am seeing. Okay, wisdom is coming with all this. That's the reason it includes, this chakra includes all the senses, including all the senses, all the five senses, and also extra senses. Every sense is perceiving something, right? If I am sitting with my closed eyes and I see I sense my skin starts sensing very heat, kind of very heavy, kind of hot kind of fumes, and all this vibration around me, then I will feel why I'm feeling very hot in my left hand, or in my right hand I'm feeling very hot, and I might not understand it. But if I really ask, where was I when I'm experiencing this? Where was I, and with whom was I? Okay, I've always experienced this kind of thing, and with whomever I was, I after certain time, after 1 week, or 5 days, or 1 week, or 10 days, max is of 10 15 days, I always heard there was a death happened in their house. So I'm sensing, when I'm connecting to them, I'm able to sense. So sometimes everything is not about us, it is about just understanding the nature, the sensing of the nature, and this is what would be the, for the other person, if it is that. Okay, you are growing. So every time, what we understand in our life might not be the same what the same experience others might understand through their experiences in their life. Okay, there'll be a difference. So all extrasensory perceptions has to be very active in this, right? And the element for this is light. It is completely light, because here you are not just an ordinary thought, not just an ordinary emotion, or not just your ordinary being as a matter. You are something completely different here. So that's the reason you use light being, all the light elements come. And the mode of sleep for this is deep and half awake sleep. A person might be sleeping very deeply, very deep sleep, but still in a way, even a pin drops, the person knows there's a sound which has come, and the person is awakened again, is awake, right? So mode of sleep is always like, we see this kind of sleep in the posture of Narayana, right? When he sleeps, even for Shiva, when we see he's in the deep meditation, we see, the eyes are closed as if they are sleeping, but they are not actually sleeping. They are completely able to sense everything. They don't need the physical eyes to understand what is going on around. Okay, so you are going beyond that. And associated body parts are always eyes and the base of the skull. You can say base of the skull, you can say as medulla part of brain, right? And the location is always this, and there is no archetype for this. From here, the form, there is nothing to do with any forms. Till here we had forms. This is this form represents this kind of where you can understand the essence of a particular chakra. But here there is no form. It is only that with the physical dysfunctions, we can only make out whether it is a poor vision or any neurological disturbances, or headaches, poor vision, all these things, we can say this is the physical dysfunction for this particular chakra. And emotional dysfunction is nightmares, hallucinations, learning difficulties, all these things. Learning difficulty is like it's a great deal. Like even in some children we see, they find it very difficult to learn. They find it very difficult to everything about this chakra is about the nervous system. how the nerves are active or not. Right. It is life lesson for this is you have to be emotionally, I should say, intelligent. You need to have a mastery on all the emotions, what a particular emotion is trying to tell you, and what is that which is you are trapped in a situation because of that emotion, and how is that you are perceiving any kind of issue in your life. Okay. And only one emotion can tell us where are we standing. We say depression is the biggest thing. We always understand as, oh my god, that person is depressed. Depression is nothing but then it is out of boredom. I am bored of thinking about the same thing, doing the same thing. That's the reason I'm depressed. When I'm saying I'm depressed, I'm talking about my entire body not wanting to working, not wanting to work at all. That means I'm bored of whatever I'm doing. So since I don't know this, I connect to some pain and I say, oh, I got so much of pain. That person has hurt me. This situation has happened in life. That situation has happened in life. And I'm so depressed. And I'm completely dipped into the point called trauma. But actually, depression means you are bored out of your life. Whatever is happening in your life, you need a change. Okay. The change has to be implemented. So goals for this is ability to see anything other than these two eyes. Beyond the two eyes, whatever is there, you can see anything. Reading aura is not a third eye activation. Reading aura, anybody can do. Okay. We don't have to really feel like, oh, if I'm able to read the aura, that means my third eye is activated. Third eye has got nothing to do with, yes, the third eye effect will definitely be there. But looking at, if you are able to see an aura of a person, that does not mean your third eye is highly activated. Okay. You have just might have touched it. Okay. But when you are literally seeing only spirits, the force, right? Force of any being, whether it is animals, plants, or even the minerals, or even the human beings, then that means you can strongly say, yes, my third eye is active. I can see. Okay. These things happen. And the fears is always when the third eye is active, because of opening of psychic powers, there are, you are bothered, right? All the time when you are not seeing the world the way you used to see before. You're not seeing any human being. You are seeing the damn spirit inside the body, the force inside the person. And you have to say, oh, this spirit is, oh, you have come. The spirit has come. And now this is the name for this spirit. Okay. It is so difficult. However, they are behaving, they are looking at us. Everything is so scary at some point of time. We are really not able to understand. So there is the fears is all about the inner silence and the success. When you are scared of your success, when you are scared of attaining that inner silence, the shunya inside, that fears will make us see every spirit in a different way. We literally can't see them as a very purposeful spirits, or the force what a person holds are very might be a very divine and very nice, all these things, because our mind holds some images when we talk about divine and when we talk about evil. The minute we say spirit, it is something else which has come in the mind. We can't really, even the divine can be a spirit. Okay, the person who is holding all the divinity, they are also spirits only. What is a spirit? Spirit is nothing but the force which is there inside you, the force which is making you to perform all the actions. Now whether it has got, what is a soul? Now soul is a purpose. So if that spirit, that force has any purpose to it or not, we can make out. With our ordinary brain itself, we can make out there is no purpose in whatever action. Sometimes a person kundalini gets awakened, okay, and the person thinks that he connects to the sahasrara, obviously, and all the divine thoughts comes. I have come to do this, do that. Now I have to teach meditation for many things. Even the doors will be opened and he will be doing all kinds of great things. You can literally make out, okay, this person is no more ordinary. This person is the divine being and everything. But probably that force got activated and there was no purpose behind that. in spite of Kundalini being awakened and person connecting to the highest space of their own intelligence, this consciousness, in spite of that, the person might be acting with all the force is going into a place where there is no purpose. Sometimes a person might sit very normally, very ordinary, doing everything very silently, but every step is very purposeful. Okay, we can make out that what is just because just awakening the Kundalini is not enough. You need to, if the Kundalini is awakened, we need to have that capacity or learn the technique to ground it as well. Okay, ground it so that everything goes in a purposeful way, right? All this can be understood when your third eye is very active. At the same time, Mooladhar is also active. Without the Mooladhar, Swadhisthana and Manipurika completely active and it's in a balanced state, handling third eye would be very difficult. People might be say you are a god being, because the actions also will be like that, words will also be like that, everything, but it maybe some things might be purposeless. There is no purpose in whatever actions that person might be making it. Okay, at that point of time nobody will understand. After all the work is over, now the Kundalini has again came back to the ground, and then we realize, what was I doing? Why did I did so much of work, and what happened after that? There is absolutely no result. So I wasted my energy, and the outcome for what? For nothing. Okay, there was absolutely no benefit, neither to this side, neither to that side. So absolutely zero purpose, right? So there we can make out. And the positive side, it's always like, here also we need to have the attitude of gratitude, where when the Kundalini is awakened, it is rising and connecting to the Sahasrara, you will actually meet your destination point. End of the life, mane, your entire journey you are traveling, and this is where you will reach. Okay, and you will reach, and that is only thing, you will only connect to your destination. It could be anything, it could be a community, it could be a person, it could be your own idea, something maybe you want to do, or this is what you are meant to do, you will lead to it. But maybe that's not the time. It's only the introduction part which happens. Now that's the reason I always say it is not about liberation, it is about grounding. Let the sky ground down. Okay, Sahasrar, all the cosmic energy, when it is flowing down, it is actually cleansing all the elements of your past, whatever we call past actions which were unresolved from our ancestors. Anything unresolved issues, or they wanted to do some work and they could not do, all this incompletion whichever we are carrying, all the information in our every cell, everything comes to a completion. So on ground you will stand as a complete form of being. Okay, that time it is not important whether my third eye is active or not, my Vishuddhi is active or not. They are all grounded. They are not in a hyperactivity, they are completely balanced and very grounded. Okay, this chakra, when we connect to this chakra, this is actually highly logical. When it is highly activated, you become highly logical, you become arrogant, or you might become very authority based. You might be holding all kinds of authority, you want people to listen to you, and what you say is ultimate. This all these things, sometimes it is good, but sometimes if you're really saying when I say it, it is final. Some people have that thing to say because they know what they are saying. It's like a determination. They know, they have seen a particular thing that they say. But when we are talking about it, we know the word, when we are using it, we know on what basis we are saying it. So I'm telling a particular statement because I'm sure of it, or because I think I'm sure of it. No, that's only we can make out. Okay, and if this chakra is blocked in the sense, it's, say suppose it's very weak, uh, they don't have a very forward sight. The sight is too low for them. They can't see big pictures. They don't have, even their dreams are very small. If I eat for my lunch, that is enough for me. That is what is they can think of. The world is very small. Okay. And they are very undisciplined. There is no discipline. At what time what they do, they have no clue. Completely careless kind of a lifestyle. Okay, when this chakra is not particularly very weak, they don't know what to see, they don't know what to do, so they're just no a kind of disorientation. It happens with sasrar also. If sasrar also is weak, you completely become very disoriented with whatever, wherever you are. You are not connected to the earth, the ground element anymore. Okay, you think that I am placed somewhere very different, I don't know where I am. Okay, you are not able to relate to anything whatever is there around. All these things happens. And the balanced, you are very charismatic, you are highly intuitive and not attached to any material things. You can be connected to material things, but any material things in the sense, even to a person or anything, you can be connected to everything in the world, but you cannot attach yourself to any material things. So this chakra, if it is balanced, this is what it takes care of. And it gives very unusual kind of experiences all the time, phenomena all the time. It will tell you, obviously, when you're connecting to a person and you're looking to a person, only the spirit you are knowing it, and you don't know anything about it. You really feel, sometimes when I connect to the neem tree also, outwardly I know it's a neem tree, but when I enter inside in my own practices, I see something else. I don't see really it's as a tree. It is not just a tree, it is something else. Now you can communicate. That tree has the capacity of, through the tree you are actually connecting to your own version of your own, a particular version of your own, where you can gain wisdom, gain so much of experience through the essence. Right, because everything is one. Whether when self is understood, self is there everywhere. The way I am born, everyone is born in the same way. So nobody is less important, or no, somebody is more important. There's nothing like that. Or all are versions of the same self. Right. And the self is always united. A self is, there is no separation in the self. When I say I, when I'm identifying as I, as individual I, then there comes the separation. So when I'm talking about, when we are here in third eye, we are talking about that unified self. So we are seeing the self everywhere. So when you are seeing the self everywhere, everything is same. You are, through the other person or through the other object or anything, you are actually connecting to that version of you only. Okay. So you can communicate, you can reform, you can reframe, you can redesign, you can do whatever you want, however you want, however that moment the flow happens, flow of knowledge happens. And whatever knowledge we have been carried since so far till that point of life, how many our perceptions we carried, everything becomes at one point. They meet at one point, so that one beautiful insights comes. So when a person is connected to a third eye, they are very insightful. They have answers for everything, because the insights are so high. A person knows like we say, after a certain age, a person can tell anything, because they have lived on ground for so many years. They might have seen so many things in life, so they might have understood so many things. So it's the wisdom thing, wisdom insights, they can flow onto the next generation. Right, not anybody who can ask about it. So third eye is that kind. It tells that you are the old soul, you are a transcendental soul. You can reach to that state. Okay. Yeah, this is little about Agna Chakra. So let's start the technique, the most wonderful technique. Yeah. Sit straight with the spine straight. Okay. Just like yesterday, you can bend your head. I hope your candles are there already. Yeah. You can light the candles, lighten the candles, and just keep it with you. Yeah. And now bend your head till the chin touches the collarbone. Continue breathing. This is called inner invocation. Bending your head, allowing the chin to touch the inner collarbone. And very slowly raise your head. Slowly raise above so that you are able to touch behind. Don't stress yourself. Bend it as much you can. Let the head bend back. This is called calling the universal soul. Continue breathing. Now slowly bring back your head to normal, very slowly. Keep your eyes closed. Connect to your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, with all the awareness of the silence around you, slowly open your eyes, hold the candle close to you. Let the light of the candle is right straight to your third eye. All your focus on the tip of the light. As much as possible, don't blink your eyes. Keep looking to the tip of the lamp. Let that little heat, you can sense the heat in your third eye. Let the light be a little close to you. Be focused on the tip of the light without blinking the eyes. With all the beautiful silence around. Now keep the candle aside with the eyes closed. See the light in the Agna Chakra location, the center of your two eyebrows. You can sense the presence of the light and even the heat in your third eye. Without any thoughts in the mind, you can chant Concentrate on the third eye. Feel the Om chanting coming from the center of your two eyebrows and its vibrations going to all parts of your body. Your thumb and index finger together with all your attention on your third eye. Mentally chant for 7 times. Agna Jagrate Jagrate Jagrate. 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 Now see an inverted triangle in the location of your third eye, surrounded with the circles and the 2 petals, one to the left and one to the right. And to your third eye, and you can mentally chant Om Ham Ksham. 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 Chant for 7 times. Agna Utana Utana Utana. 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 Feel the vibration of Om in your whole body, starting from your third eye. Along with the vibration of Om, sense the silence spread all around you and flowing in every part and particle of your body, in your mind through your breath. Once you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Take your own time.
Thank you, ma'am. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone have any sharing or any questions? Yeah, still all are in trance.
Yes. And we'd say that the person in that particular chakra, you sleep in this way or that way, like left or right. So this is means when you're sleeping in left or right, it's more of your balance stage. That's how you sleep in your balance stage of the chakra, or
Body has its understanding, its knowledge. It knows how to deal with it. So if this particular area has to be worked on to keep it and to keep that particular element in the body in balance, person's sleeping postures automatically changes.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that means some disturbance is there. So body knows now I need work in this area. So it makes you to feel comfortable when you sleep that a particular way.
Yeah. No, I got like a nice, I won't say like I see this and that, but yeah, it's very nice and calming experience when I was doing third eye meditation. And then, yeah, I think when very later on, I got a pull from here in the middle of the brain. Usually I feel sensation here in my all chakra meditations when we're doing for others. But this time didn't feel much here. I feel more in the end here. So yeah, that was my experience for today meditation. Anyone else would like to share their experience or have any question?
All are still in trance.
Yeah, I think so, ma'am. I think people can dream. I feel bad talking and I'm doing the meditation, but um
Yeah, ma'am. Today I feel connected with my own, like where it should be. I felt it, and
Okay.
I felt like the way the light I was able to see. It was the outside one, it was yellow, and inside was deep orange. And the more deeper, slowly the inside color started changing. It become green to violet, and then it totally become dark black. And at certain stage, everything become dark, and then suddenly whole everything back. The light was total yellow, and I was feeling on the back the whole time. The activation was able to feel at the particular time, chanting and all the time in the beginning to till last. And the last, I don't know, I saw myself in the train,
No?
and I was in the train,
Okay.
and I usually go from my direct house to like one direction, and one like the I can say the Western man was there, old man, and he was telling me that you need to go in other direction. Like if I'm going towards my left every day in the train journey, he was telling me to go right and telling me that careful, you are going right. Go
If
this
we are
way.
going right, then what is to be careful about?
I don't know, but he said only this part, and then suddenly, like very strong push, I felt come like from my back. I felt it everything come in front, and then it turns in again in light.
So you are going right.
Okay.
If anyone says go right and you are going right, you are going right. You got it?
Hmm. That's the right
Yeah.
way, in a
Yeah,
right
that's
path.
right. That's right. Right is not right or left. It is yes or no kind.
Hmm.
Okay. Generally, you follow this path. Now you have to follow another path. So he's only giving you an information to see both the ways.
Ma'am, when
And
we are
then
seeing both the ways, what does it mean? Like actually, physical or spiritual?
perceptions will change. Perceptions will change.
Okay, for everything, like the every situation, go look the things in both ways.
Yes. So definitely when I can always say most of my explanation is totally completely different, not from what everyone generally tell about a particular thing. So the change of perception will anyhow happen.
Mm.
So your direction will anyhow change.
Okay. Ma'am, now I'm thinking which direction, where, because I recently started so many things new. So where I need to think, or I am the other way
You're
as well.
going right. Yes,
Like,
you already got information. You're going
you're
right.
right.
So don't bother. Anyhow, you're going right. So don't bother.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think.
Tanuja ji, would you like to go for your question?
I don't know what to say today. It's like a very different experience. I don't know whether I'm not able to speak anything at this moment. It's completely a different, and I don't know whether I slept in between. I went into the zero state. Um, Initially, I have seen Shirdi Sai Baba for a few seconds. All of us, again, I went into zero. Again, I came up with Lord Krishna, like black statue with the flute in his hand. Again, I have seen a shank, silver, with a metal silver kind of shank with some spiritual, like some silver shank kind of with some Lakshmi Devi on it or something. I have seen that. I'm like coming here again zero state, coming here again zero state, and I have noticed some kind of pain at the back again here. And after seeing the candle again closing the eyes, I literally, when I close the eyes, I have seen red color, jyoti kind of. Then that red color turned into orange. Again, it turned to blue. Again, it turned to green. That green went into dark green. And then again, I'm blank. Again, came up with these pictures, and I'm completely like blank for a while. Again, I heard your voice. Again, I'm back with Om chanting. Again, blank. In that way, it has been, but it's a very different feeling today. I have noticed your pain, and still I can feel some kind of energy over here, like zim zim kind of.
The pain is because when you're doing the universal calling and also inner invocation, so it's you need to do it very slowly because sometimes it hurts because we are not used to. So sometimes like I can still see Kalpana still there,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
not yet grounded, still trying to liberate herself.
In between, in the trance itself, my head just went back again by itself. I didn't do it by myself. It went back again.
Always bring back. Always bring it back.
Okay.
Always bring it back.
It's a
Head
very
should be just straight.
Mm.
Not even if it's bending down, it's okay, but then not raising too high.
Okay. And I noticed when the colors are, I have noticed initially they are like 2 points, like here one kind of and below a small kind of dot, same color. Initially, like those two are like separated and changing colors. Those 2 points has been aligned together like single part. I don't know what does it mean, but I have noticed that two dots has been aligned together and became one.
Connecting to the essence of oneness.
Okay, I loved it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good, good. This was a nice one.
Ma'am, we are seeing these color changed. What does it mean? Like,
Colors are nothing but you are connecting to a particular chakra.
so when I felt like I was in complete dark for some time.
Inclusiveness.
Okay.
All colors merge at one point. Then it's not you cannot see any particular color.
So it's Adi Anand, like basically from where we start
It
and
is
where
the shunya state,
Shunya.
dissolved state. And again, sometimes when light falls, and again you can see all the colors. You can only see the dark yellow, or you can see a bright white. These are the colors you see.
You're on mute, Tanuja ji.
I can still feel the energies. My eyes are filling with tears.
Same.
It's
Very feeling still the heat is there in the eyes.
yes. Even once everything is done, when I came out, I felt a lot of heat in my body. I was on jacket wearing. It was too cool here, so I just removed my jacket and I felt my whole body is heated like anything.
Perfect. Yeah, Kalpana ji, you can slowly come out. You can very slowly bend your head back. Do it very slowly. If you can hear me. Slowly raise your left hand if you are able to hear me. Not able to hear.
I'm not sure if sometimes people are like, I have a headphones or then it's not connecting, and I'm not sure the laptop volume or headphones volume.
since so much of time the neck is, it will hurt.
Mm.
If anyone can just give a missed call or call her on number, she'll get little distracted.
Or let Kanchan do that, Joe. You're on mute as well, Kanchan. Okay. Kanchan, I think she will call her. So, ma'am, what comes afterwards? Third eye is not a everyday everybody's cup of tea, I guess. Like you can work on your chakras, and then third eye is like very specific and very rare thing to achieve. I won't say like
Third eye can be achieved. Yes, Kalpana is back. Good morning, Kalpana ji.
you have a very nice meditation, looks like, Kalpana.
Yeah, it was good. I was somewhere. I don't know.
Sorry to disturb you, but ma'am was concerned with your neck.
I was concerned about your neck. Okay.
Yeah, all good, ma'am. Thank you.
All good? Okay, good, good. Oh, third eye is, see, it is for anyone can activate the third eye, not a big deal. But you have to always go in a process.
Yes.
Finish all the chakra, and as a flow, we connect to third eye. Then it's completely balanced. It awakening also is in a balanced state. It's always good. Directly working on third eye, it might create some disturbances in the other chakra points. So even the back ache might come, or all related back issues may open up. There are many people who even broke their backbones, just by directly wanting to do the third eye. It has to flow. The energy has to flow from Mooladhara slowly to the third eye.
So, all like you're saying spinal issues, but then no psychological issues, because I hear
Psychological issues also might arise. Schizophrenic, they might become schizophrenic. And confusion in understanding everything.
Yeah, makes sense, because you don't have understanding, basic understanding.
As it is, when sometimes for some people third eye gets just activated, so that's okay. If it is happening automatically, it is okay, because body understands how to raise and how to pass through. Because
So
the
who are
two
those people
petals,
who get activated like this? Like they past midlife meditators, or they're very pure at heart, or what sort of people? Like when you say that some people's activated automatically, they haven't worked on it, they haven't,
too much of enthusiasm. Too much of enthusiasm and wanting and holding an idea of suddenly wanting to become something very extraordinary.
Mm.
These are all basic ideas of not wanting to be grounded. So these are all ideas come when your Mooladhara is not in a very healthy state. You want to just run away from life. Spirituality is an escape. All this thought process.
And ma'am, what will be our next topic?
Next topic is rebirthing breathwork.
Rebirthing?
Breathwork. All about breath.
All about breath.
And the traumas of life. We'll be dealing with 8 human biggies.
Sure. Interesting.
That will be the second topic. From this, we have finished our first topic, meditation and energy healing practices. In this, the main essence what we need to take is meditation is a state. We cannot do it. It is a state where we need to reach it. And to reach that state, we have to go through all the experiences of material, like the physical, mental, emotional, and also spiritual. Okay, all the stages, and even a bit of astral experiences, all these variations we go up and then reach the state of shunya. Sometimes people might reach to the shunya very quickly and again come back to the material experiences, physical experiences. And sometimes it is like they connect to the astral experiences and again go back to shunya and again come back to. So it goes on till we are completely clear at every level. It goes on, these things happen. Okay, and at a certain point when we know that when inner energy understands that everything is clear, now you can directly fixing into the shunya state. The moment you close your eyes, you know you want to see whatever is needed for you, that vision only will come to you. If not, nothing comes to you. You are just listening to the sound of your breath. That's all. Whatever is needed, now the time has come, you need to know this, that information will come to you. It could be anything, even going to leaving dropping your children to school. If it is that important, that vision also comes. Don't expect that some visions means you are going to get something else very extraordinary. All the silly kind of things also will drop in. That means there's something you need to know. And the definitions part, when we say meditation is a state, it's a zero state, and the spirit means force, soul means purpose. These things we need to know the definitions, because we have a very varied kind of things. When we talk about spirituality, we don't understand its definition. We directly jump into our own conclusions of this is spirituality, that is not spirituality. Everything is spirituality in this world. Even a person who is not into practice meditation practice, is just doing his own routine course of life, still can be spiritual, because the force is so balanced, or the force is completely active. A very purposeful kind of a force the person might hold inside them. Sometimes in spite of doing so many practices, the force is, they cannot handle the force, they become imbalanced. So you can't literally say in spite of doing so many practices we can't label them as spiritual. Every matter is out of the spirit energy only. Every matter, anything, it could be anything. So when we are connecting to any object or anything or any plant, human, animal, anything, we are actually connecting to that force of that particular body only. That force could be wild, imbalanced, or balanced. It could be anything. Just understand that. And every force is based on your perceptions. So there is nothing like spirit is obviously pure all the time. It can be the unresolved issues also. If there must be a purpose in however the spirit is acting, however our force of action is there, we can make out what is the purpose in it. Why I want to yell on a person, why is that I want to shout at a person, why I want to love a person. We might have our own ideas, we might have our own theories of I want to shout at them because they are doing wrong, or I like this person because they do right. We might have our own logical things, but whether it is right or wrong, only when you connect to your own inner with all the authenticity, all question yourself with all the authenticity, then only the right thing comes up. Not what we think may not be right all the time. What mean we there's a saying like, what you see is not actually what you see, what you do not see is what you need to see. The journey is all about, our journey starts from the state of unknown and then to the knower. Okay, known state, unknown to known, known to the knower, knower to knowingness, and again from knowingness back to the knower, and again to the known and to the unknown. So it's a journey. It's a journey of what? Journey of that self which holds the intelligence of your own creation. So meditation and energy healing practices is all about understanding that. The more practices we learn, whatever it could be breath work, it could be past life regression or inner child or inner parenting or any kind of techniques, Reiki, pranic healing, whatever are there. When we learn all this, we are actually holding a beautiful, insightful weapons inside us. So that when they are there, we know when a situation comes, they get activated and protect us. We don't fall into any unnecessary things from any kind of spirit force. They protect us. That's the reason knowledge alone might not help all the time. You need some techniques with you. That's very important. So these are the techniques. Chakra activation is like a technique. So your technique, you are activating everything so that you are aligned. You are always grounded. You're not rushing away with any illusionary or any extraordinary kind of forces. You're just being very grounded completely. Okay. And there are much more to come. So don't worry.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Master, for joining us today as well. And yeah.